Bad Omens just cannot catch a break. For a band that seems pretty unproblematic, I would say, at least on the surface, they seem to always got something zooming around on the internet. There's been a few different things about this band that I want to discuss, but as of a few days ago, they literally knocked the ceiling down. This might be some prime Australian beef, so you might not have seen this, but they've just finished their Australian leg. Oh, you know that there's a thong on the end of that leg. So they've just finished their Australian tour. They kicked it off pretty damn well by throwing a roof tile onto some of their fans. Not intentionally. I should stop kidding. This is actually kind of serious. On Thursday night, a confetti cannon went off during Just Pretend. And I'm guessing something was in the confetti, or maybe just the amount of air. CO2, who knows? We see it fall from many different angles all over TikTok and hit people. This one here scares me in particular. Yeah, nah. If that happened to me, my anxiety would not allow me to go back to a gig. The blue hair is absolutely stunning to a point where it seems to have some sort of universal pull. I honestly, seriously hope they are okay. I saw on, it might have been like Channel 9 or something, they did an article where it showed someone had like some broken fingers, swollen hands. This all went down and nope, that's too literal. This all took place in Melbourne in a place called Festival Hall. When I read about this venue, I was like, no damn wonder. So this venue first popped up in 1913. This thing is older than the First World War. Okay, yeah, cool. But she hasn't just been standing strong for 110 years. No, she burnt to the ground in 1955. And then a year later, they managed to just pop her back up in time for some sort of Olympic. It used to do like wrestling or something here. On their website, they have all these photos of the Beatles. They seem to be pretty proud of the Beatles playing there in like the 60s and it becoming more of like a rock venue, because back in the day, you know, I guess the Beatles were pretty close to Satan. I don't know, I've never partaken in Beatle activity. I love old architect. It's one of the reasons I live where I live. So it's really good to see that old venues are still standing. But I think with old venues, maybe just check a couple structural things like the ceiling isn't gonna cave in. I did see a lot of comments from local Melbourners saying that this venue needs a little bit of sweet loving. And by the looks of these photos, yeah, man, that's nasty. It's a bit of everything soup up there. It's strange. I've heard from news outlets that emergencies weren't called. I've also seen in comments on TikTok, and we know how reliable they are, that emergency was called. But apparently someone had blood all over their face. Dude, some of these photos are actually kind of terrifying. You're thinking like, oh, like squishy little ceiling board, but nah.
Concert goers have been hurt in a ceiling fall at Melbourne's Festival Hall. A confetti blast triggered pieces of the ceiling to drop during the first stop on the Bad Omens tour. Ambulance crews weren't called, but fans have taken to social media describing how two girls suffered minor injuries. The alternative rock band seemed unaware of the incident as the concert drew to a close. Tonight's second show is sold out.
Guys, can we just take a second to appreciate that the metalheads made it on the news? This is a big step for metalheads, crab kids, Corys. Can we get everybody that now identifies as a Corey down in the chat? Hey Corey, I've been on Twitch for a year. This is a YouTube video, moo. I know guys, I'm not exactly a drama channel, right? I'm here to kind of diffuse things. And one of the things I want to talk about is there are a lot of these videos going around and a lot of comments being like, what the heck, dude? No one didn't stop the show. This is such a niche Australian issue. This is kind of important to talk about because the people who were around the incident that happened, you guys did great. You were clearly trying to look after your fellow metalheads. You were clearly trying to look after your fellow metalheads, which is important, right? It's the only way this shows work is if we all look after each other, because the people on stage have so much going on. There are lights in their face, there's noises going on. And obviously I can tell you guys were trying to get like Noah and the band's attention by like waving to be like, yo, stop. And look, this motion works pretty well in traffic, and though a circle bit does kind of resemble a chaotic roundabout, it doesn't really work too well at shows. I'm not saying this is at fault of the people that were trying to help. Clearly they got help eventually. From my own personal experience trying to get people out of the pit that are damaged, the best thing you can do is talk to everyone around you, almost create like a chain effect. You kind of want to tap the people ahead of you, be like, yo, ask the person in front of you to get security. This here is another great thing to add into your survival salad. A big ol' X in the air. You're probably here because you've seen a few of my videos at this point. We like to be unbiased. We like to be a bit of a picket fence, right? We gotta look at both sides of the situation. We can't go, what the heck? Noah didn't see that. Terrible person. So many things go into place to try and make sure that shows are safe. Shit's gonna happen, dude. Noah did address it after the fact.
Not expecting a ceiling tile to fall. But like I said, I'm glad everybody's okay. But I also heard that they're all here tonight, everyone that was hit by the ceiling tile. Where are my tile guys at? Who? Is that you? Who else? Don't start lying to get attention. You? Are you okay? Yahoo News said someone was knocked unconscious. Is that true? That's true. Your friend. Yeah, are they here? Oh, okay. Well, if you were knocked unconscious, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. This show has been a fucking blast, and being Australia is a fucking blast. Anyone remember last time we tried to come here, there was like a situation where I couldn't sing? I feel like enough time has passed to tell you what actually happened. I wasn't sure myself. There was a light fixture at the venue that we rented. We paid money for, and it caught on fire, and it filled the backstage with toxic, burning plastic chemical smoke. I didn't think much of it, because I'm an amateur singer at best. So I was like, oh, that's fine. Probably won't affect my voice in any negative way. Pranked. We pushed through, did the shows we did, and it was a fucking blast, and I could not wait to come back ever since. So thank you all so much for coming out tonight. So, another tidbit of information before we resume. This is technically the largest tour we've ever done as far as sunrise sales, ticket sales go. So that's pretty fucking cool. It's happening here in Australia. So again, thank you all so much for turning out, making it happen.
And we can see that the bro has some fresh comedic content for the night afterwards. He did a minute of silence and everything. They're really cute. They're such a respectful band. I've seen Bad Omens 3 times at this point. I post all my vlogs and everything onto TikTok and Instagram Reels. But I got a few comments and a few messages being like, please watch out for the ceiling tiles. It was at the river stage, so it was fine. Shitty sound, can barely see anything. Calf muscles jacked as shit from jumping up and down on the hill all night. It's a great venue to go to. It was an amazing show. And I will say confetti went off at multiple points. Just Pretend was one of the last songs to play. So I'm kind of wondering if this ceiling tile got hit at multiple points and it was just like the breaking point, or if the confetti gets shot in multiple different angles and this one was just really lined up at the wrong fella. I could wait for you at the bottom. All jokes aside, I actually honestly hope everything's okay. The next thing I've seen popped up online around the Bad Omens tour in Australia.
I just want to put in perspective like the last video I posted about the Bad Omens merch and why it was so expensive. I wasn't annoyed about the price of the concert, like I get it. Their show was pretty good. I mean, they could have had like screens for that price, but oh well. It was like the merch. Like I saw Ice Nine Kills 2 months ago and their merch was $45. They're an international band. They have to pay the same taxes and the same merch cut, but their shirts were $45 and had more print on them than the Bad Omens ones. And then I also saw Crowded House a month ago at the entertainment centre and I paid $65 for their shirt. Their shirt was made in America and good quality, didn't shrink, not see-through like some of the comments have said about the Bad Omen shirt. And also they've been a band since the 70s and not just like 10 years ago. Anyway, I still love their music, but it was just too much for merch.
I fully get what this creator is talking about. I got a whole closet there filled with band tees, but we didn't seem to like the fact that they were charging $70 for a band tee and they weren't exclusive band tees. I think this is where the issue is, right? Yeah, the tickets were expensive. I believe Bring Me the Horizon was more expensive. I feel like they were closer to $200. I could be wrong, because I kind of missed out on that one. $70 for a shirt that you are selling on your website for less. There is a few different ways that fans can do shirts, okay? And as someone who is currently about to drop her first piece of her clothing line, that came out like fucking mashed pea soup. Dude, making shirts and hoodies and things, so expensive. Do we reckon the cable should be this way? Is that more attractive to look at? So a lot of people are defending Bad Omens, saying that import taxes and everything like that's really expensive, especially with playing shows as well. You have to get all your fucking instruments over here, you know? Guitarists, put your hands up. How many guitars do you have? Yeah. That's fucking right. And this was a full international lineup. So yeah, that shit is expensive. And Australians, before you get grumpy on those prices, just take a moment to talk to your cousins over in New Zealand and ask them how their international band tours are going, because they're gonna tell you it's been a while since they've seen one. And if you don't want to pay for the international prices, there is a fucking sick Australian metal scene here. Take your friends, go to the bloody bright side and have a fucking ripper night, okay? But the merch, I kind of understand. I think the most expensive shirt that I got from Parkway Drive, which was a 20th anniversary show held at the entertainment center, crazy stage shit going on. The most expensive one that I think we got was $65. And it was like the special edition 20th anniversary Parkway shirt. And you can tell they are specially made for the show. They have like gilded or ice color little taggies. So originally I was trying to get Muted made here in Australia to try and kind of like support the Australian economy, and I would have gone through with it even if it made my cost a little bit higher. A back print, a front print, and a sleeve print, I was looking at a cost about I think like $300 to $500. It was looking about $80 to $90. This is without the cost of my custom tag, as in like a literal sew-in neck tag and a sew-in side seam. Being an online business, I also have hang tags and shipping and mailing bags and protective bags and all this extra stuff. It was gonna make the price so bloody high for you guys that I just didn't want to do it. I also want to add, this cost doesn't include a custom cut hoodie. It's a blank hoodie that anyone could buy off the shelf. If you look at that pricing alone, you can very easily understand hoodies that get printed in Australia for any of these bands might be looking at about $120. I'm gonna say for a t-shirt we can probably cut that in half, plus there probably won't be a sleeve print on there, and maybe a band would order like 1,000 for a country tour, maybe more. So who knows, maybe getting them printed in Australia you'd still be looking at anywhere from $30 to $50. And yeah, that's without paying for the person who's going to design the merch and shipping them between each state. And you could probably put a discount on it because a lot of the time they do still have like the AS color tag in there, and the cost of stonewashing and tie-dyeing is more expensive. And I do feel it, like if band merch only has front or back print, I get disappointed and I don't want to purchase it, but it purely does make it a lot cheaper, and maybe that's the band's way of trying to offer a cheaper shirt. But the thing that is getting me with brother Bad Omen over here, just the one Bad Omen, we're not dealing with multiple today. This is one of the first times in a while I haven't bought any merch at a show. Like this shirt here, we love this shirt collectively. I wish I'd purchased it when they put it on clearance on Horizon Supply. This is an Australian tour shirt, and yes, eventually Horizon Supply put excess up on the website, which was really cool and really fun, but it has all the Australian dates on the back and the design is specifically for Australia. That's really sick. I would have happily paid like $80-90 for that at the venue. It was probably more expensive than that, but whatever. I would have happily paid for that, and plus it's a boxy tee that actually fits really cool. That's one of the reasons I don't wear my fucking band tees half the time. I need to stop buying them. Jesus. I think it's fine to charge a premium for something. It needs to have something unique to it, and don't rub it in my face that I could buy this same shirt for way cheaper online. I just gotta wait a few days for it to be delivered. I don't know, man. I don't know. So I don't blame Bad Omens directly, but I think there's so many different ways to do merch. I think this is maybe like not the best way to go. Oh, but you know what? See, here I am with the other side of the shoe. We've flipped the story over. Bad Omens merch, at least in all the years prior that I've seen them, they have sold like crazy. Hold the phone. I just did so much walking and I definitely could have inserted this on the screen. But do we remember when this hoodie would sell out like crazy? I was trying so hard for the longest time to get my hands on this. I don't even know if this is the same anymore, but they have it online still and you can actually buy it now. But I got this in like 2021. They brought a whole bunch to Knotfest. They sold out super quick. Thankfully they had them at the sideshow, and I happily spent $120 on that. It might have been more, to be honest. I'm kind of proud of myself because what the fuck. If this shit is still selling like crazy, that is kind of a good thing, because I was like, I'm gonna cry and not go to the concert if I don't see this bloody hoodie at the merch table. So I guess I kind of get it from that point of view. Is there shipping like Falling Reverse? Because Falling Reverse costs you like $50 Australian to get anything shipped. Like you have to fucking sell your kidney if you want any Falling Reverse merch. I tried to get his book to do a fucking video on it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to spend that much money to buy his fucking book, dude. No, I kind of wish I did. But come on, at least do one Australian tour show. That's like $40. The reason I say I feel like I hear a lot from Bad Omens, considering they're pretty under the radar, is because Bad Omens is actually a band a few years ago that personally seemed to remove themselves from social media. Maybe there's still some weird like gender norms going on, and he's kind of just talking about here how if the roles were reversed and a older male was posting younger baby photos of female strangers, it'd probably be a little bit weird. Honestly, dude, I like this statement. I think this is showing him trying to ground himself a little bit from the pedestal that any kind of level of fame can throw you up onto. And I do believe the time that he deleted it was around the time that his address also got leaked and people were dropping by gifts. I'm a huge believer that the shoe exercise should be implemented in like every part of our life. But if you were to put yourself in his shoes and you were just sitting at home and some stranger dropped a gift off at your house, would you be like, I don't really know who that person is? Is that going to be a bomb or a really yummy sandwich? Oh, normalize just dropping Uber Eats off to random people. I just always want a Subway sandwich. Just always. With extra pickles, no onion. I like to subside the stinkiness that I put inside my breath. Apparently there is this new rumor and people are thinking that him and Poppy are together because they got spotted at a show, I believe. I think the main thing was that he was at Jimmy Kimmel holding a dress bag. They're like, it has to be. Obviously they've written songs together, they've gone on tour together. So if you see them at the airport together or they go to another show together in the crowd, like maybe they could be friends. I think the main thing is not trying to force a narrative. And like the unfortunate thing is the more you ask something to not be spoken about, the more it is going to be spoken about, right? And I know that there's only a select few, like for how many monthly listeners there are, we ain't all fucking doing this. And I know that it gets interesting and excited and you want the best for your artist. But I think there's a difference between supporting someone you love and being like, oh, I love Poppy and I love Noah. This is sick to see them at a show together. That's sick. To being like, ooh, I bet they're dating. Let's figure all this out. Let's play detective. Have you ever been best friends with someone and then someone's like, you guys are totally dating? You're like, fuck, dude, now I'm uncomfy. We just gotta like chill out, guys. Just chill out. Don't yell on the internet. Don't yell on the internet. We are unbiased, we are chill, we love an emotionally mature metalhead. I gotta go. That's actually enough for me. So thank you for watching this far. Thank you, Patreons. I love you. Muted clothing is coming. I'm a little bit scared to promote it because I'm scared I haven't ordered anywhere near enough from the amount of you that have signed up in the emails. Thank you. I hope not to disappoint you. That's my childhood trauma coming out. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not? You're here, I'm here. You can unsubscribe to me later if you decide you don't like the videos I put out. If you hit subscribe, I'll give you a carrot stick. Bye.